Yo, what up? Red wine and blue. Yo, 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 yo. What up, what up? What's going on? Hot damn. Keep on rolling. All right, let's get ready. We got things to do. Things to do. Everybody good? Cool. Looks like we got a little bit of probably a bouncy McGee in the markets today. It was a little bit nasty yesterday. Very nasty. Let me get rid of all these lines here. But we had a big grind down for about a day and a half. So we had this epic kind of gap down and pop. And then for a day and a half, right, we're just grinding down, grinding down, grinding down, grinding down. And it looks like probably maybe we might get a little bit of a bounce today. I'm not a big believer in it just yet, but we have some things brewing. And what I mean by some things brewing is that, we've come down into some level of support, but we've also kind of done it pretty orderly. And, it's been just a grind down. So we haven't had like kind of a crashy moment there or anything like that. We've just been kind of grinding down for the last 5 days. So today will be key. If we can kind of rip up and maybe, kind of come back into this 200-day moving average, I think that would be a huge win for doubles, right? That'd be a huge win for doubles, but we don't know that yet, right? So we're going to have to be mindful of our levels and see, because the price action, there's two different things, right? We're looking here and saying like, hey, this looks okay, right? You got a little bit of a flag that's developing. So we have two different kind of things that are happening here. One is, on a longer basis, we're looking at this and saying, hey, this is, maybe something okay, kind of okay, right? But on a short-term basis, right, if we're just looking at the price action of the last, right, since the 12th, then we've just been grinding down. Now, guess what? It's not the 12th anymore, right? We're at the 19th. So we've had 7 days, business days, right? So that's a week and a half of just this kind of grind down. Minus we had this like epic squeeze for like 2 hours on the 17th. So we do have this kind of wedge that's been developing, but we can't be really, if we lose any more levels, then I think we're probably coming back into here. So we got a handful of things that are happening that we got to be careful of, right? Number one is that, we do have an orderly pullback, and on the daily, if we can break this and get over the 50-day moving average, then I think that's going to be a really bullish, a bullish signal. If we can't, and we kind of lose Friday's, yesterday's lows and break under this 20 SMA, then boom, right? Like you're kind of drop off, and now we're coming back into this. So we got two different things to play. If we break this way, right, then we're kind of coming right back into here, and that sets us up for, right, that kind of year-end rally that nobody believes in too, right? With war, what are you good for? And right, oil prices and the inflation and all this other bullshit. People are pretty down on the markets right now in terms of, basic sentiment, but also, right, just the eye test of when you see things going on and then you're like, why isn't the market crashing, right? That kind of gets people into, for some reason, when people see bad news in the world, they want the market to crash, but it never works like that. So just different things that we've got to be aware of today. The SPY's in a little bit more of a dubious place, I would say, in that, hold on here. Get rid of all this, my third grade drawings here. The SPY's in a little bit more of a dubious place in that we never broke over the 50-day moving average, and we're like rolling right under it. And if we can't hold here today, then we're probably coming back and retesting this 200-day moving average. So today's a very important day in that, there's a slightly head start in the market for about 0.5% that the good old Netflix has given us, but we got to see if there's can be some subsequent follow through the big worry, of course, so Netflix is obviously going on this huge run. It's right at that 50-day moving average too. So you've got a spot here that it's kind of running into. 401.08 is the 50-day moving average. We'll see if it busts through there. I would expect on something like this a momentarily pull, probably maybe like 390 or something at the open before it kind of picks a side. Hold on here. Yeah, look at that thing. Yeah, so you got right here 401.08, 50-day moving average. You're nuzzled right up under this. So my worry on the market just a little bit at the open is like, we could, we may experience a little pull this 0.4% if this Netflix starts to fade off a little bit at that 50-day moving average. We don't have any inkling that it's going to. And of course, Tesla shit the bed itself. Tesla was holding up pretty well. I don't know if anybody I didn't listen to the conference call. I just got like some of the excerpts of it on one of my newsletters. And it kind of read like, it was like, it was basically like, this Cybertruck's kind of trash anyways. That's kind of how it read, at least. Like, he's like, I don't think this thing's going to really make any money. Man, he's a funny dude. So like it was hanging, and it only really given back, a handful of days worth of gains here. And it was hanging. And then it's just on that conference call started to pick up some steam. So we'll see what's up on this. They missed on their revenues, and then they missed on the EPS. A little bit, I would say, they had like a 10% miss, give or take. Some of it was that they voluntarily closed some of the plants down so that they could rejigger it to like, make new things, which is like, voluntary plant shutdowns different than actual plant shutdowns. So that was kind of expected anyways, but who knows, there must have been something going on. And in the end, it's just the price action is the only thing that makes. If this thing doesn't bounce up at the open, then it's got a date with that 200-day moving average, which is a really good spot actually anyways, because that's the previous low right here. And man, if you could get kind of a double whammy there, that'd be probably set up for like a nice big sick bounce. So, hopefully we just fucking tank and get this thing going over there. But you don't want it to lose this whole zone here, because you can see here, like if it did that, then this is coming down into this. And, if that happens, really the whole market's probably in fucking trouble. Because if you think about it, the market itself looks a lot like the chart of Tesla, right? Like if you just kind of take this gap away, right? The QQQs kind of looks like this too, right? You got kind of triple peaks, and then you're like kind of hanging out at the MAs. Right. And like, what does the QQQ look like? If you just take away the last 5 days of Tesla, the QQQs looks kind of like that, right? Triple peaks, but then you're kind of grinding down into the MAs, so this is a very, very important. These are very important days that are coming in if you're a bull or bear or whatever, because we're going to get a lot more. We're going to get a lot more certainty of, I think, the direction of the market, which we just haven't had. Let's take a look at the IWM. IWM is down 0.2%, right? This kind of faded off into the close. IWM's a weird bird, man. It's a weird bird. Like the other day when the QQQs had gapped down like 1.5%, this thing went red to green and ripped 2%. And it's kind of doing its own little thing over here. But in the end, like, look, if the market does roll over, right, we've got a big time spot here at 170. We'll see what's up, We got a big time spot at 170. That doesn't mean necessarily that it breaks down. Sometimes they turn the algos on at these supports and they rip them back, right? So you don't necessarily know. We'll have to take a gauge of everything in the market. But if the market does shit its pants, then we know, like a breakdown and a close under 170 should be, should be something. All right, let's take a look now. We've got a whole host. We got a whole host of earnings plays and all this kind of fun stuff that we got to deal with too. All right, let's get a look and see what kind of earnings plays we got here. Let's take a look at the gappers first. All right. Guys, small caps have been on fire, and there's a theme going on, right? I hate small cap. You guys know that. They're for degenerates, and, they're for degenerates and sadists and, people with mustaches. But there are themes in the market that just happen over time. And we're in a market of lack of themes. And the small cap runners has been a theme, and they have been moving clean. There's people in our chat room that have been doing the Shoesmith dance on them, and they have been moving. So do not let my own aversion to these things, because remember, I'm old, I'm bald, I'm fat, and I'm hairy. It's a difference, right? I can't do these things. But for some of you youngsters or not youngsters, then there's a theme that's developing here, and these little guys are moving, right? So just something to kind of keep in mind. You can play some of this junk, like, see, this is like a pretty big base, and they have a lot of volume in them lately. I don't know who the special algo is that's turning these bad boys on, but they usually are taking these like really turdy charts and just tossing them up. Like, look at this thing's got a floor of 600,000. So it doesn't take much, just a whisper in the wind to get these things going. Obviously, Netflix capping up 15%. It'd be very hard to chase this at the open. We'll see how it shakes out at the open, but I think we definitely got to put it on the watch list. TLSS, this is the Tesla Bear ETF. So guys, if you're trading like in your IRAs, your 401ks, any kind of longer term, tax deferred type of accounts where you can't short, then you can use this TSLS, right, as a proxy for the good old Tesla. And when Tesla goes down, this will essentially move up. So if any of you guys can't short or don't like shorting because the charts just look weird, then you can come in here and do a little bit of the Tesla dance. Looking good, old AT&T coming through. Raises full year core profit growth guidance following third quarter beat. Man, you never see this thing fucking move ever. Now, it can, because it's just been beaten down for the last couple of years. A little bit of a thick stock, but you know what? Let me just tell you something. It had news out a couple of months ago last time, and it was having some decent days, and they were actually trending down. I wouldn't discount this, actually. Not my particular flavor. It'll be a little bit more of a grinder, but sometimes grinders are good. Like, they can just, right? What I mean by grinder is like, what a grinder trade is, and you should always know what kind of trader you are, and how good you are. A grinder trader is like something like this, right? Where it's like, see, you gapped out and you're like ORB here, and then it just steadily, right? No big candles, just like 5 cents every candle, just grinds down for a couple hours, and you kind of get where you need to go. But right, it just takes like 3 hours or 2 hours to go. Nothing wrong with it. We're like, like something with a lower float or, a different share profile. You may gap down here, and then you get, $2 candle right off the bat, and then it's like kind of done. But you can also do it the other way, right? So it's just the stress of it. These type of trender grinders, you can use a much tighter stop loss, oftentimes 20, 30 cents. And then you can grind them down. And that's actually good, because like I got a lot of students that want to use really tight stop losses like Thayer, and he'll use a 20-cent stop loss, but it'll be like a $400 fucking stop, right? That's like moves around a lot. You got, if you do it on something like this, it ends up working a lot better. So you can trade something. These are trender grinders. There's a good chance, right, that like something like AT&T. If it sets up, you might get a little trender grinder action on it. I would add it for shits and giggles. You got good old Las Vegas Sands over here. Off share price, stocks jump. Hey, you got a base on this? This can work. This can work. Why not? You got base breakout on this bad boy. It's only 72 million share float. I like. What do you think? Let's add that. I think this is a Buenos. Yin Yang. This is Yang. This is the shit on China ETF. I don't understand these Chinas. Every time they look bad, they're good. And when they look good, they're bad. Minus PDD. But even that one's kind of rolling up. Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. Look, this is an interesting thing today. I think that we should be aware of. So, Taiwan Semiconductor, right? Taiwan Semiconductor had their earnings out. This is the biggest. They have the foundries, right? So they manufacture the actual chips. There's not that many of these places. How they all are in the middle of fucking Taiwan, right? Is beyond me who decided to do that, but smart little bastard. So this thing's up 4%, and it's also breaking over the 200-day moving average, all this kind of fun stuff. What happens, in terms of price action, this gap is just going to be good because any strength in this, right? Because these are the people that are they're making the chips for everybody else, right? So like, some company can design them, but it's TSM that's actually making them. So their guidance is important because if their guidance is saying like, hey, we are raining orders, right? We got orders coming in. People want this shit. They also usually will tell you like what kind of orders are coming in. Hey, people want these AI chips. People want these car chips, whatever it might be, right? So when this thing starts to fly around and, their guidance is giving an idea of what's happening in the general chip industry, then that is very good for, right? Like your AMDs and your NVIDIAs, like NVIDIA got shit on the last couple of days, right? And so having some good earnings from Taiwan Semiconductor may prevent this big fucking big nasty rollover that's been developing, right, for a long period of time. This kind of head and shoulders thingy me jiggy. We'll call that the triple something. It could prevent it from happening. So we'll see. This will be important today too. If this thing goes green to red, that's going to be a very nasty. That's going to be a nasty thing because we don't want this thing. If you're a bull, you don't want this thing breaking under this 410. And it's still far away, not far away, but it's about 1 day. 1 day's worth of ATR away. So you got to be super careful here, right? So this TSM is it's a good proxy. Like this is good stuff. Like you want to see that thing if you're a bull, bust through. 11:13. Hey, for those of you guys got like a little something smaller, right? You got flat top breakout developing on the good old new. If you don't mind an $8 stock, this thing's got a sweet spot right there. Yeah. Just want to dance. Let's see what's up with the good old Roku. I didn't see anything here. All right, so that's on the upside. Let's check on the downside what we got. Oh, a little RTO here. And I'm not buying 100,000 shares. SMTC. Proposed private placement of 250 million of convertible senior notes. It's a dilution. I think we can leave that alone.
So hard.
Yo, the goose is loose. Downgrades. Downgrade. Is that it? It's not even earnings, huh? This Goose Island stinks to trade. All the liquidity's been sucked out of it. I leave that alone. Tesla, we got on the watch list. Let's see if this bad boy ORBs. Old Foot Locker here. Boom, 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 boom. I didn't say any news on Foot Locker either. Impact retail stocks stink to trade. Blackstone's Q3 earnings are fall. Yeah, Blackstone. These guys are assholes anyways. If we have a chance to short this thing, we should. Just for American purposes. You get a breakdown here. Man, the 200-day moving average right there. You got maybe only $2. It would be nice for patriotic purposes if we could take this thing down. Yeah, they've been topping out since 2021. Their day is done. Their day is done. We're coming for them. And banks suck to trade. Let's leave it alone. Peloton, gapping down 5%, multi-year deal to become official fitness partner of the NBA. Guess that didn't go over well. People don't like the NBA no more. Oh, is it Blackstone and BlackRock's different?
Blackstone's the grill company. BlackRock's the investment firm that screws over America.
Blackstone, I'm pretty sure, is a financial company.
That's BlackRock.
There's a Blackstone that's a bank too.
Oh, really?
Steven Schwartzman is the CEO. Good old Schwartzman.
Okay.
You guys don't know about that old Steven Schwartzman, huh?
No.
See, I hang out with plebes. They get all their news from YouTube. Me, myself, I'm an educated man, a man of the people, a man who rose with the commoners, but has his brains up where the lords preside. Hence why I know that Blackstone is a bank. And a common man would say it's a Yeti grill. Hey, they make fucking grills, right? I saw that at Bass Pro. Shit. Hey, thanks.
I think Jay Powell's speaking at 10 or something today.
Peloton downgraded, underperformed by Bank of America. Why did they do that? This thing's $4, huh? Who wants a downgrade of $4 stock? Why did you guys do this up here? Let's have some fun with some of these. Nokia. Man, I used to love my Nokia phone. That just ain't right what they're doing. It's still a $30 billion company, huh? It's incredible. Yeah, it's an AC. Like these blocky candles, it just doesn't trade very well. Junk. All right, let's take a look here. Zion. Let's see what else has earnings out today. Okay, let me get the old good old calendar up here for the good people. For the people's choice. JD, what up, baby? All right, so we got AMT, HFA, FCX, UNP, FCX, not much action. UNP. The UNP does. It didn't show up in the Gapper scan because they didn't have enough volume yet. That's actually moving around about 4%. You could probably put that in. The Manpower Group. A bit of Philip Morris, American Airlines. Yeah. Key Bank, not much. TSM we got. All right, these are all after hours. Let's just see what we have the previous day. At the markets, they got Netflix, the PPGs. We got LVS we added. I think you got to play this LVS. All right, cool. Let's see if we got any upgrades or downgrades that are worth the shit. You want to always look for the buys, right? Or big upgrades. And you want to see like big price target upgrades, but you want to do it on like well-known names. Like it doesn't really work as well on like some of these things like AMBA. Yeah, Amazon got it outperformed to a 170 from the good old Oppenheimer. See Crowd. So Crowd has a nice daily chart. You know, you got a little upgrade that's taking this out here. So you got 225 raised. I would add that to the list. ZS has got a really nice chart too. You got 225 upgrade. I would add that also. Those are two hot little numbers right there. You got Ally, Netflix got a bunch of upgrades. Good, 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 good. All right, cool. Let's get back to this, people. I think today's going to be a target rich type of day. We got things we can do today. All right, so let's go back into this. See this crowd? You got a flag breakout that's happening. You got the upgrades today. Add this. Remember, we are not in a swing trading environment. It's a day trades only right now. Till the market breaks over and starts to close over the 50-day moving average. But I wouldn't start adding swings till really we get back into this zone and it looks like we're going to rip out. If we're going to rip this trend line and make a run, that's when you add the swings. That's when you see everything gapping up and doing all this shit, right? Till then, you probably don't do any swings because it's just going to be a big clusterfuck. You know what'll happen is like a stock will go for a few days, look like a breakdown, and it'll come back down. So you got to do the opposite when you're swing trading in this kind of market. You got to like buy in support, sell the rips kind of deal. All right, so add crowd. This arm's a piece of shit. SPR had basically a flat day after it kind of gapped up yesterday. Keep it alert at 22. The float is low on this. They actually may take it out right off the bat. See MS for a day two. We got this. We got LVS. And see the ZS got an upgrade too, right? Now look at the location on this, guys. You've got a sweet spot. If it rips that spot right at the open, I think you just close your eyes and do the stranger. Remember, always sit on your hand first. Man, that's hot. That's hot to trot, boys. Crowd trade's a little bit better than ZS, but I think, you know, you're in the same kind of realm. Well, let's make up our 6 windows here. Yeah, we got the Tesla Nations. We gotta add the Netflix. Crown. I guess we can play the video for the oversold bounce if we need to, or the fader. We got LVS on the second one. Good. No, shop faded off its whole game yesterday. I probably leave that alone. What else are we missing? Hey, Mr. Rice, how you doing, baby? Yeah, EMP's got a downgrade, bastards. It looks so nice a couple days ago. What are we missing, baby? What are we missing? Guys, remember Uncle Jerome is up at 12? Don't do anything too crazy. Around that time, I should say. Remember, it's right at 12. That's 11 o'clock Central Time for those of you guys that don't adjust your clocks like I do. I like to keep everything on Eastern. Yes, if the market goes.
Right. Yeah, Netflix.
What are we shitting about?
Netflix, Tesla, those box.
Yeah. All right. All right, let's do this, people. Enjoy your day. Let's have some fun.